People just quit too soon and they're trying to be too perfect until they never get to where they need to be.
How do you find the balance between really listening to the who, to the truth, to the self, but also being able to be commercial?
If your song is not making you feel something, it's the wrong song.
The only thing that holds you back is you. The only thing that holds you back, that holds you back, that holds you.
Hi everyone, this is Tali Koren, singer-songwriter, and I'm here today with a very special guest, Evan Carmichael, and we're here today to explore what holds us back in life. It can be from losing weight to achieve the biggest dreams of our life. Now, I'm not a motivational coach or speaker. We have here the expert, but I'm a person that, against all odds, fulfill my dream to become international singer-songwriter with so many family objections and rejections. And when I decided lately to re-release Beauty of the Duty, a song that brought me to fame in 2011, I thought the time now of the pandemic, it's time that we all need to be motivated. So I made an extended version and I put in bracket, what holds you back, which is the main message of my song. And by doing that, I actually realized that I'm the one that holds myself back all these years. And I thought, right, let's bring the experts. Let's explore this subject that you at home save time and hard journey and can really make this time to make something better of yourself. And that's why we have such an important guest today. So welcome to my little show.
Thanks for love, Tali. Good to be here.
It's really, really nice to have you. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate you because you've just released an amazing book, Built to Serve. And it's a fantastic book. And I would like, the first question that I'd like to ask you, as your hashtag is believe, would someone can have a real belief and certainty, but still something can hold them back?
I think you can always believe in what you've done. Whatever you've already done, it's easy to believe you can do it again. When you were a kid, you didn't think you could tie your shoes or ride a bike, and then you learned how to do it, and now it's not a big deal anymore. But we don't believe in the next thing. You know, for you to believe you could write a song and have anybody listen to it at the beginning might have been a big stretch. Now you know you can do it, but you still don't believe in the next thing of what you can do. So it's this constant game of lack of belief in where you could go next, while firmly believing in everything that you've done so far.
Can you explore with us the belief? Because I really like how you write it in the book that the hashtag believe has like three dimensions.
Yeah. So in my book, I talk about the who, the why, the how. Like if you need to figure out what your purpose is, what your passion is, how to turn that into a business, that's what I'm obsessed about helping people do. So step one is your who. You have to figure out your most important core value. And so mine is believe. For Tali, it's something else. For you guys watching, listening, it's something else. Underneath that, though, belief has a standard kind of definition. You go to the dictionary, you can see what believe means. That's what most people would think. You get to decide what your who means to you. So for me, I call it your credo. So you've got your who, and then underneath you got your three things. That's your credo. For me, I want to first believe in the work that I'm doing. Right? Yeah. So believe that this thing is helpful, is important. Next is belief in myself, self-confidence.
Yeah.
And then belief that it will work out. And so, you know, those three things is what believe means to me. And that when I put hashtag believe, that's the emotion that I'm trying to get out with every piece of content that I make. That's me. For people watching, listening, if you pick up the book, you figure out your who, there'll be a standard definition of it, but if it really means something to you, there's a deeper version of it beyond just what's in the dictionary. And that's what I want people to figure out, because when you get that, that becomes your roadmap for the rest of your life. This is something that I'm going to believe in people for the rest of my life. And so figuring that out gives you that compass, gives you that direction where most people right now feel lost.
Right. But if I go back to the same question that I asked, and maybe you can share with us a personal experience, I believe that through your career, you had projects. It can be a book, it can be an event or something that you've done that you gave 100% of yourself. You had the belief, that certainty, the third thing that you have in the hashtag, that you knew it will succeed, but it didn't. It can be timing, it can be anything else. Would you say that unsuccess, if you look back, was because of luck, or something still in you holds you back in that particular event or occasion?
So I look at this as big picture, little picture. In the little picture, I expect to fail all the time. I expect everything I do, especially at the beginning, to not work.
Right.
If I'm launching something new, I just don't expect it to do well at the beginning, because creativity is messy, and people put this label of perfection on it. I want it to be perfect, but you don't even know how to make it yet. So just get it out there. I value the momentum more than the perfection. And so if you're looking to believe that it's going to work out, that's a big picture macro concept, that any video that I make on my YouTube channel may not work. And if it's a brand new thing, I expect it not to work. But it's the belief that if I keep going, it will eventually work.
Right.
That I'll figure it out, that
Right.
I'll adjust, that I'll learn something, and I'll improve the next one. So I think people need to give themselves permission to fail at the beginning, for it not to work out, and to not take that personally. It doesn't mean that you suck just because your first song didn't hit it big. It just means you learned a little bit, and keep going. And if you keep making new songs and every day you're practicing and trying to get better, eventually it will work out. And I just fully believe that I can do it, that you can do it, that everybody watching and listening can do it. People just quit too soon, and they're trying to be too perfect until they never get to where they need to be.
Exactly. And I just want to tell my viewers that a lot of them are musicians that gave up a long time ago, because the music business is such a hard world. I know the manager of the legend Nina Simone, and he told me that they released the same song 3 times, same song, and only the third time it became a huge hit. So this is exactly of you are talking about. So if we take your journey, which your journey was long and you really made a big change, would you do the same, or would you think that, yeah, that really hold me back, I should have done this YouTube at the beginning? Or do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So starting off, one, I don't look backwards. So I never ask this question to myself or any similar questions, because I can't change the past. And so I don't spend time thinking about trying to change the past. And I think a lot of people stay stuck in that. It's like, oh, I wish 3 years ago I did it, or I wish when I was in university I did it when I had the chance. I just don't think that way, because it's not very productive. That being said, if you took me back to a moment where I was struggling to believe in myself, and 40-year-old Evan could talk to 17-year-old Evan, I couldn't guarantee you that I wouldn't go in and try to help him and say something. But because I can't, I just don't put energy towards what could have been or what I might have been able to do or might have changed. I think if you're grateful for where you're at, like I'm grateful for where I'm at right now talking to you. And that's a result of all of failures and mistakes and errors and lack of belief that I had in the past. So if I didn't go through all that, we probably wouldn't be here talking. And so I'm grateful for those experiences where I'm at right now. and I can't change the past. So I don't spend too much time focusing on it.
Yeah, that is really a great example. And in your book, you also speak about Tony Robbins, that someone at the end of a show told him, "I will be one day like you," but you keep talking about that we all the time grow. And but is there anything right now? You released the book, you are doing very well. Would you think that there is certain thing that hold you back? Do you still look at that particular thing? Because we all have that, a little bit of that noise inside us.
Always. I don't think it goes away. I think you're just capable of climbing a bigger mountain the next time. So at the beginning, even just recording one song might have been impossible and difficult. And how do you get a studio, and how do you release it, and how do you name it, and how do you write the lyrics, and all of that would have seemed impossible to you when you were 16 years old. And now you've done it. Now to do that is easy. Oh, this, I know the people. It's just basics now. But the next thing is scary. If you were to go, you want to be on movies, or you want to have a channel with 1 million subscribers or whatever. It's like, I don't even know how to do that.
Yes.
So there's always the next level. And I think that's good. I think we want to progress. We want to grow. We want to learn. We want to improve. I think if there's nothing in your calendar that scares you, that doesn't give you a little bit of anxiety, then I think you hate your life. It means you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. There's nothing new. You don't like your life if you're not progressing and learning and growing. So anytime you have that idea of something that you want to do, and then your heart's beating and you're nervous, I think that's go time. I think that means you have to go start it and try to chase it down, and constantly battle the lack of belief and the voices in your head to go do the next thing. I think anybody who doesn't have that is not doing anything big and is not challenging themselves to grow.
That's beautiful. And I think now, especially, it's such an important time for people, that so many people feel depressed now. And I think it is an opportunity for people to reassess their life. And I think that is the timing of your book is really excellent. Can you just give people a few words about how much is important to use that? My philosophy is always take the minus and turn it into plus. Yeah.
Well, and listen, I didn't know that COVID was coming when I was writing the book. It takes a year to write a book and get it out. So I had no ability to tell the future there. But I think, it's called Built to Serve because humans are built to serve. Because if you're not happy right now, it's because you're not serving. And that's hardwired into us. Serving others, helping others hits the same part of your brain as having food and having sex. So it's literally hardwired into you that you feel good by serving other people. So if you're not happy right now, you mentioned the word depression. If you're depressed and you're not happy, you're not serving either the world. Maybe you have a big mission or big vision, or the 25 closest people to you. You don't have to have some giant mission, but you have to feel like you're serving the people who are closest to you. Yeah. Either one. If you're not happy, it's because you're not serving. And so the good news is you can always figure out a way to serve.
Exactly.
And you can serve on a really deep level, which is what the book gets into, of how to figure out how to serve exactly. But even just doing an act of kindness, even just doing one nice thing for somebody else will make you feel better. Ultimately, what I want people to do is, if you woke up and you felt like today mattered, like you woke up this morning and you felt like today mattered, you're going to make something today that matters. You're going to create something today, whether that's a song or a video or artwork. Like you're creating. When you're creating something that has the potential to impact somebody else's life, if you did that every day, you're on a path to happiness.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you wake up every day and feel like doesn't matter if I show up, I don't show up, nobody really cares, it doesn't make a difference, you're on the road down to depression. And too many people are stuck in that loop. And why I created Built to Serve is to try to kick people out of it.
Beautiful. You know that something about the title of my song, Beauty of the Duty, is in a way coming from the same place, because it's beautiful to do the duty that we have, the duty to others. But for me, I re-release it for, first of all, for people, but also I think it's my duty to my talent or to my song to give it the best possibility. And that's why I'm doing now all these interviews. I just want, another thing that I really like that you said in your book, that you could have done videos that would have instantly much more viewers. Like, you know, I could have done maybe a really, really pop song that has all the recipe to get more streaming, etc. How do you find the balance between really listening to the who, to the truth, to the self, but also being able to be commercial? If you can give us the last tips, and even to me, I'll be grateful.
It's how does it make you feel? And if this is now speaking right to musicians or singers, you're already more in touch with your feelings than most people, because great art and singing and writing and painting, great art makes people feel. Great art comes from an emotional place of happiness, of sadness, of anger, of frustration, of heartbreak. Like, great art comes from an emotional place. So if your song is not making you feel something, it's the wrong song. If the song is being made by your head, it's the wrong song.
Absolutely.
You could make a song saying, I hate Donald Trump, and it might get a lot of views, right? Whether you hate Trump or maybe you love Trump, it doesn't matter. It's a polarizing topic, and that might get you a lot of attention. But if it's not from your heart, it's going to feel gross, and that won't be a sustainable career. Yeah. So when you're coming up with your ideas, I like saying the big decisions you make with the heart and the small ones with the head. So when you're thinking about what your next song is going to be, you have to get out of your head and get into your heart. And then, how does this make me feel? And recognize that music especially is healing. Music can change somebody's state faster than anything else. Your song could change people's lives. Your song could save people's lives. People are about to kill themselves and they hear a song and they stop. That could be your song.
Yeah.
And if you create from that place of deep emotion, you're going to create much better art than if you try to think, what song is doing well right now that I can piggyback off of and try to find the way, right? It doesn't mean shut off your brain completely, but it starts with the heart.
Yeah.
And then you use your head to help you figure out how to do it. And people who flip it, they just don't win. I make videos on success and inspiration and what you can learn. If I did a top 10 rules for hatred by Donald Trump or whatever, I'm sure the video would actually blow up. Like, people would love to see that video, but I don't want to make that video. It's not what I want to create in the world. That's not what I want to be known for. And I don't want to give that energy. I don't want to give that idea energy. So it already feels wrong. So don't do it. So that's the acid test. And I think singers, artists especially, are just way more in tune already with their feelings. Yeah. So when you're coming up with something, just how does it make you feel? Are you feeling pumped, excited, energetic to do this? Or do you feel gross? And just don't do the things that make you feel gross.
Absolutely. And I think now more than ever, musicians have the platform, the social media. It's not what was before, that you just wait for record label or manager that will make it for you. We all have the opportunity, and it's just about, as you say, keep going, which was my latest single, was Keep Going. But yes, it's so important to serve and to do the duty to ourselves and to the world. And just to let you know that for 2 years, I've been listening to you in a very hard time because my late husband passed away, and I had to have a brainwash of positivity. And as I'm a subscriber, your video would come in the middle of the night. So you were part of the channels that helped me, and I thank you for that. And that's what I'm doing with my music, changing people's life. And that's all what I can say. How wonderful that from hearing you in the middle of the night, I'm talking to you now. That only show believe is the key for everything. So it's really such a joy to talk to you. And yeah, if you want to say the last words, please.
I love it. Well, thank you for that. I think, what I have been a small part of your healing or recovery or, mental health. I think everybody listening, watching, you could be that for other people as well. And if only 100 people watch your first video or first song, that's still 100 people. Like, those are humans. If you were to give, this is where I think a lot of artists especially struggle. If you were to give a concert and it's going to be 100 people sitting in chairs in front of you as your first time ever singing in public, you'd be so excited, so nervous, so scared, so overwhelmed. So, oh my God, I'm going to do this concert for 100 people. That's crazy. Yeah. But then 100 people see your video on YouTube and you feel like a total failure. Only 100 people saw this thing. It's just some perspective, right? And like, those are 100 real people who saw your video on Instagram or on YouTube, and maybe it touched some of them. Maybe the message in that song you wrote touched someone on a really deep level and is part of their healing, because maybe they lost somebody too. And now your song is the thing that's helping them get through the night and make it just a little bit easier for them to sleep tonight. Like, that's real. You may not hear the stories. I mean, I didn't know that about you 2 years ago, but I see that all the time, and I feel like that's the energy I'm putting into making my art, which is inspirational videos.
Yeah.
And so just some perspective that if you have 100 people who see your videos, those are 100 real people. Like, be grateful for that, and then keep creating.
All the time. All the time. Beautiful. So thank you very much, and hope one day to meet up and keep the fantastic work.
Thank you, Tally. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on. Much love. If you want to see another awesome interview I did, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there. The path to excellence is taking the first step. Most parents hate their lives too, and so the kids hate their lives as well. I wasn't that smart at the beginning.